Hi, my name is Isaiah Jacob Alder and I am from Group 12, and our topic for this group presentation is going to be conflict resolution. So let's get started. So what is a conflict? A conflict is a difference between two or more ideas, and this definition is in very simple terms. There are a lot more complex definitions, but I don't want to bore you guys with any of that. So a conflict will always be found in society, and it can also be in personal, racial, class, political, and even international issues, which can cause a conflict between two or more people. So what is a conflict resolution? Well, as per Harvard Law School, a conflict resolution can be defined as an informal or formal process that more parties use to find a peaceful solution to their dispute. There is a process of how to come up with a resolution for a conflict, and I'm just going to be reading that for you in a gist. So the first point is recognition by the parties involved that a problem exists. So that is really important. So you got to like all the parties who are in this conflict should realize that there is some dispute between themselves, and the next part is they should have agreement to come up with a solution for this issue. The next is to understand what the opposition is trying to say, what their demands are, and what they really feel and what is actually causing them, because there is always something which is going to be causing an issue, and it's important to find that out. And there's also identifying changes in attitude, behavior, approaches to work by sides that will lessen negative feelings, recognizing triggers to episodes of conflict, having interventions by third party members such as human resources, which are mostly found in most companies, and or higher level managements to mediate, and a willingness by both one or both parties to find a compromise. Finding a compromise is so necessary. So one of the main parts is to come up with a good plan, and the plan should benefit both parties and not just one specifically. So the both parties need to be really sensitive on this plan and ensure that it doesn't cause any hindrance to the other party, and it's in favor of both parties, and which should cause a proper resolution. And the next point is disciplining or terminating employees who resist efforts to diffuse conflicts. So there could be few people who in your team or whatsoever who, in spite of you trying to find a solution to the conflict, they might try to be adding more into the problem. They would try to make the problem even bigger, and they won't be happy that you're coming up with a proper resolution. They will want this to become a really big major issue or whatsoever. So it's important to know how to handle such issue, and if the guy's points are really valid, then it can be considered. But if he's just here to just cause any trouble, then he should be disciplined. He or she should be disciplined, and or could be terminated. So this is from the Balanced Careers website, which has all these points. Imagine there's one ice cream left in the fridge, one Magnum or Naibar or whatsoever, and that's left in the fridge. And you have a brother or a sister, and both of you really love that flavor and that specific ice cream. So, and both of you really want it. So you open the fridge and you see that there is only one bar, and then you have a conflict between your sister or your brother saying that no, I want this ice cream, and then you keep arguing with each other. Then you come up with a solution. You decide to open up the ice cream packet and cut the ice cream equally into two equal halves and share it between your brother or sister. That way you now have a resolution for your conflict. So this is a small basic example of how conflict resolution works. The conflict was you both wanted the ice cream, and the resolution was you both got the ice cream, but not in its original quantity, but you still found a proper solution to it, and you both were satisfied in the end. Another thing to talk about conflict resolution is compromise. There will be compromises while you find a resolution to your conflict, because there can't always be a very unequal or a great solution, but sometimes you might have to compromise, and and you need to be willing to accept the compromise and be happy with it, like how the two brothers or sisters were happy with just half ice creams. My next topic for this presentation is going to be about teamwork. So what is teamwork? Well, according to Wikipedia, teamwork is a collaborative effort of a group to achieve a common goal, to complete a greater task in the most effective and efficient way possible. The concept is seen within the greater framework of a team, which is a group of interdependent individuals who work towards a common goal. So basically, a team would consist of a group of 3 or 4 members and would have one leader who would be directing the team as to what the task they should perform and how to perform it and when to perform it. And the team would be working towards a certain goal to achieve. So that's how a team is formed and that's how a team is run. The next step is to create a proper voting system. So the members of the team can vote whether they are in favor of the resolution for the conflict or whether they are not, and the side which has the most votes would be taken into final consideration. Okay, and that's it for my presentation. I hope that you were able to understand what conflict resolution means, what a conflict is, and I hope you were able to understand my example and how a compromise also exists in a conflict resolution. And I hope that you were able to understand how conflict resolution affects a team and what a team means also. And I hope this was also worth your time. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ashwin from Group 12. We'll be making a presentation on the topic conflict resolution. I'll be discussing about the points majority rule, negotiations and decision making. First, majority rule. It is a system of giving the largest group in a particular place or an area the power to make decisions for everyone. The principal decisions are supported by more than half the people in a group, have effect upon all the people in that particular group. Majority rule is a decision-making system, but where in a choice or vote between 2 or more options, the option which has more than 50% of the vote wins. We use this strategy in daily life as in ice cream or frozen desserts, yogurt or dilemma. More often we think the majority rule in the government when a new law is voted on a president, where we elect him by using the majority rule. Majority rule does not reflect on strength of individual preferences, the vote of a person who strongly supports the issue. Majority rule does not promote creative trade-off among issues. One of the most successful keys to conflict management is the ability to make trade-off between issues under discussions. Next topic I'll be discussing about decision making. Decision making is the process of making choices by identifying a decision, gathering information and accessing alternative resolutions. Using a step-by-step decision making process can help you to make more deliberate, thoughtful decisions by organizing relevant information and defining alternatives. This approach increases the chances that you will choose the most satisfying alternative possible decision. It is all about choosing from the available options. The better choices you make, the better decision you make. You have many decision making examples in day-to-day life, such as deciding what to wear, what to eat, and what to write. And the major various skills include problem solving, leadership, reasoning, teamwork, emotional intelligence, creativity, time management, and organization. Next, it is about negotiations. It is the process of discussing something with someone in order to reach agreement with them. The discussion themselves, a formal discussion between people who are trying to reach an agreement, a strategic discussion that resolves an issue in a way that both parties find that acceptable. In a negotiation, each party tries to persuade with the other and to agree with his or her point of view. By negotiating, all involved forms of compromise, it involves some give and take, which means one party will always come on out of the negotiation. The other, though, must concede even that if this concession is nominal. Parties involved in negotiations can vary. They can include talks between buyers and sellers, an employer and prospective employee, the government, or 2 or more countries, negotiations can take place between buyers and sellers, the employees and the employee. But negotiating it is due to reduce debts, lower the sale price of a house, improve the condition of a contract, or get a better deal on a car. When negotiating, be sure to justify your position, put yourself in other party's shoes, keep your emotions in check, and know when to walk away. Negotiation is necessary when no one can dictate a solution. Team members must agree for any decision be bidding.
Hello, I'm Shriyat Singh, 21 UVC 122. I'm going to present to you about conflict resolution. My topic is resolving. So, basically, resolving is to understand the conflict. Like, we'll have to communicate in order to understand what the problem is, and we'll have to brainstorm possible ways to overcome the problem. So example, if I have a problem with my partner, so I should understand what kind of problem is it, whether this is caused due to miscommunication, or it is something that is this a problem caused by our egos. When you communicate to the person, like, communication is not only talking but mainly listening to the other person. Then you listen to the other person, you know what's their perspective on the problem and what's your perspective. You might be wrong sometimes, you might be right sometimes. So when you know what's the problem is, example, there's a miscommunication while you talk, so there's a miscommunication, and you'll have to address it properly in order to uh, like find a solution in that issue. And next is compromise. So compromise is basically a very a very critical part in conflict resolution. So it's like compromise consists of many things that has to be which are, one thing is that example, me and a person connects really well, and we know for the fact we don't have a future together, but still we want the relationship in any other way. There are few things that you'll have to ignore, avoid, make use of. So for example, when you connect with a person than anybody else, like your vibe is increasing their positive vibes and they do the same for you, it's like the most divine thing in the world. When you know that you'll be in a relationship eventually, when you're having conversation with them, still things won't work out as I told you in the future, but yet you want to live in the present, and you'll have to compromise the entire relationship in different ways. So first, both should the both should start way should start is the real issue, which both individuals want to be in a relationship, but they actually know they won't, it won't work out in the future. So first, both should you'll have to accommodate the fact that, you'll have to understand the fact that you won't, guys, the couples won't be together, and you should accommodate them for who they are and the things they do. You'll have to accept the person for who they are. You will not expect many things, so expectations can lead to many other things, which is positive and negative. And it's certain things you'll have to avoid, such as emotional and physical contact with each other. When you do something which is emotionally connecting and physically connecting, it gets harder to find the fact that you won't be in a relationship in the future. So you'll have to avoid those things. In this scenario, you'll have to avoid emotionally connecting and physically connecting things in life. And when you do this, if you don't want to when you do emotionally and physically connecting things in a relationship, it becomes very hard to understand the fact that you won't be together, and you'll start hating the person instead of having a very instead of remembering it to be a very wonderful one. You'll start hating the relationship, which you don't want to. So when you arrive on these facts, you will have a solution. This solution can be both negative and positive. On the positive note, is that both individuals in the relationship accept the fact they can't properly be in a love relationship like a couple, but can utilize factors that will keep them in a relationship as good friends, or something else something else which will cause no damage to any party, like talking to each other and sharing things with no boundaries. And you have a person to talk about feeling and everything. So it is like positively, you know, there's a person for you as a friend, and it's kind of a relationship where in between a couple's relationship and a friend. So it's kind of nice. So there's no damage to any party, and you will also like have a very good time when you think about this in the future, though you're not together. But the negative conclusion is that is ignoring the fact, though you know you won't be in the relationship and do things which will it will make things harder for them. It's like being mentally and physically in relationship, which will cause trauma eventually. So when that person, like any other person, dates another person or goes like finds them or finds another guy who's a girl attractive, and they like go on a date, and you'll have the grudge, and you like start hating them for the person they are. But for the fact you know that you like actually love them in the past, and you're like hating them in the future, which you don't want to do. So it's a very traumatic experience. So solution is this positive. So it is like depending on the scenario, you'll have to choose what is this. Thank you.